All right. Welcome once again to another episode of Sports Therapy. And I am your host, FH Jr. Now, a little bit about sports therapy. Let's go to rules for the rule breakers. Remember, sports therapy is entertainment only. This is not a real medical show. We're just here for fun and yucks. Now, on sports therapy, we don't talk about politics. We don't talk about race relations or sexual orientation. All are entitled, and we welcome all to participate. Now, the rules are callers, you will have 2 minutes to either rip, rant, kick some knowledge, or laugh about all things NFL related. Now, sports therapy. Also, we are brought to you by our sponsor, which is Crown Royal. Yeah, Crown Royal, that is my drink. Sports therapy with F.H. Jr. One last thing before we kick off the show. Want everybody to know that this is the playoff edition of Sports Therapy. So in the future, we may be coming at a different time. I know we're going to always do Sunday nights, but we may push our time back because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we are in line with our playoff games. Make sense? Makes sense to me. All right. Now, playoffs. I'm not kidding you. Playoffs. Yes. I'm going to talk about the playoffs. Playoffs. Now, I have been, this is the playoffs. And the one thing about the playoffs, that's when everybody get together and kind of decide, well, you know what, my team is out, so who do I follow in the playoffs? Now, I will tell you this, audience. One last thing too, I want my callers to know that when you call in, callers, you will have 2 minutes. And also, if you want to call into the show, the number is 940-329-4110. And we are streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. And also, either like us or dislike us, but subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel. And then also you can catch me on Instagram at what else? Sports Therapy, whatever he's Junior. Now, let's roll on with the show. This weekend started the playoffs. Yeah, playoffs. Nothing but the playoffs. But you know what? Instead of delaying and listening to me tell you about the playoffs, we're going to start out with our, let me get my callers in here. Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr.
Hello.
Yeah, hey, playoffs.
Hey.
Playoffs. I ain't kidding you.
Hey.
Jay. Jay, you're one of my regulars, so
Hey.
and you know what, Jay? You're always my first caller. I don't know if you hide around the corner and, and call it in first, but hey, I appreciate it. Jay, how's it going?
All right.
Okay, now, before we talk playoffs, I want to ask you, because I know you're a big Who Dat fan. Now, there's rumor that, well, I won't call it a rumor because it was said by the owner that you guys, coach, will be returning back. So all the Who Datters that's holding out, waiting for Sean Payton to come back, not happening, Captain. So Sean
Yeah.
is, so that's not happening. But for all you Sean Payton lovers out there, and all you who know how to do the Sean Payton, there is there's talk that Sean is going to be interviewing. I know he's interviewing for a lot of coaching positions that are
Yeah, the
open.
Broncos.
Yes, yeah. hmm But you know the position that he's really been waiting to get, Jay, that he's had his eye on, the
What's
Chargers,
that?
the Chargers, the Chargers. And by saying that, now we're gonna spiral right into the Chargers versus the Jags, and they played last night. Yes, in fact,
They look really good in the first two halves.
they did, didn't they? Didn't they? And Jay, let me ask you this question because this is what I'm gonna ask. The first question to all my callers that's gonna call, and they're gonna get this very same question. Now, of course, you have 2 minutes to rip, rant, kick knowledge, or whatever. I don't think you're gonna be ranting about. Now, you may rant. I don't know. I don't know. But how in the hell do you lose when you're up 27-0?
Ain't passing. I don't know.
You are up. When I say you, not you personally, I'm talking about the Chargers. Now, I'm old school because sometimes I be want to call them the San Diego Chargers, but they're not playing in San Diego anymore. But the Chargers were up, as you were saying. They looked good. I mean, they did. The quarterback, he was starting to come into his
Got
own,
interception after interception.
and then all of a sudden, in fact, Trevor Lawrence, I thought that the coach was going to pull him. He threw 4 interceptions before halftime. 4. Not one, not two. And like LeBron said about championships. Not one, not two, not three. He threw 4 interceptions. 4. And they looked like crap. And the score was 27-0. Jay, it just looked like the Chargers was gonna skip to the next round.
Yeah.
And some
Yeah,
people
they had that game.
they had the game. So Jay, where did you watch the game at last night?
I was with friends.
Oh, in a secret location.
I was with friends.
But I'm telling you, the Chargers were up. Now eventually they lost the game to the Jags 31-30. The Chargers were up the entire game. I'll be honest with you, I was watching the game. I was dozing off because it was a sleeper. I was like, this game is over. I was like, okay. When I do talk about it on the show, all I could talk about was the fact that Trevor Lawrence threw 4 freaking interceptions, and then all of a sudden I took a quick doze and I woke up. Well, I took a quick cat nap at halftime because I figured the game was over. But
Yeah.
but all of a sudden, uh, Trevor Lawrence started to play. I guess he was starting to reach his potential, and they had a complete turnaround. I would say, I'm trying not to say that the Chargers choked, but hey, you know what? If it walked like a duck, it's got web feet and it's waterproof. It just might be a duck, cause they choked. They choked. They choked.
I know that kind of game. You played that game against Arizona.
Yes, you can relate, right?
Right.
They choked,
Doing good and all of a sudden.
and it was like it. Well, you know what? Going into the fourth quarter, as the Chargers were starting to come back, they were going down the field, making touchdowns and driving the ball, and it was like the Chargers just all of a sudden, I wouldn't say they went conservative, but it seems to me like they were. It's almost like they were shocked that nobody knew what to do. But I'll tell you what, the game ended in a field goal. with a field goal, with the Jags kicking. Even I'll tell you what, even they didn't believe that they came back and won the game. They didn't believe they won the game.
Yeah.
And they choked that game away. Jags move on. Now, because I know it was hard for you to cheer for the Jaguars because they play in your division.
I could care less.
Yeah, so they play in your division. They play in that division with you guys, the Saints, but I was like, man, whoo, J, and
I tell
then
you one game I am looking forward to tomorrow.
what's that?
Cowboys and Buccaneers. I want to see that game.
I'm glad you brought that
I
up.
don't mean change football.
No.
I want to see that game.
No, you, me, and the entire nation is gonna watch that game because the Cowboys are going to have the national spotlight. They're either gonna crap the bed or they're gonna show up big. But you know what's funny is most of the Cowboy fans that I've spoken with, even they don't believe that their team is going to win. Now that's sad.
That is safe.
Cowboy
How
Nation,
you gonna? All right.
huh?
I was something I was gonna say. How do you, how do you? I just can't. Come on, man. It's your team. You gotta go all the way.
not, not happening, Captain. According to the Cowboy fans, now if they pull it out, I'm sure they're gonna everybody gonna be back on that bandwagon. Oh yeah, I knew, but I'm telling you, every Cowboy fan that I've spoken with, they are saying that they don't think that their team is going to win tomorrow night. They don't think the Cowboys because they're saying, hey, look, we just can't beat TB Tom Brady. They can't. They don't have the faith. But today I was one of the pre-games that I like listening to. I always listen to the NFL network. And the reason I do because hell, I use their product in my podcast, so I'm always watching the NFL channel. So I was watching the NFL channel today, and you had all these sports announcers, and they were asking, they had the little pick to see who's going to win all the teams in the playoffs, and I think everybody except for maybe Michael Irvin chose the Buccaneers to beat the Cowboys tomorrow night. You know, Mike here, he has no choice.
Of course he.
So it's gonna be that's gonna be a sight for sore
I'm
eyes
gonna
tomorrow.
hold my nose and I'm gonna choose them too.
You gonna hold your nose and do what?
I'm gonna hold my nose and choose the Buccaneers too.
Oh yeah, cause you not a big fan of the Buccaneers. You
No,
know,
I'm not. But I ain't. No, I'm sorry.
you know that old Klingon proverb, right? That the enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's what they say. The enemy of thy enemy is thy friend. So along with that other one that says revenge is a dish better served cold.
I'm gonna hold my nose. I'm gonna go for the Buccaneers.
Uh, now being a Commander fan. Now look, this is what I tell my guests. If you're just tuning into the show, this is Sports Therapy with FH Jr. Well, callers will have 2 minutes to call, rip, rant, kick some knowledge about all things NFL. Now, there is no fan shaming on Sports Therapy with FH Jr. Now, do we ridicule each other a little bit? Yeah, we might rib you a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's all in love and fun and fun and yucks. I'm saying that because the Cowboys are playing tomorrow night. And there's one of my callers, Chris, Cowboy fan, and Chris and I, we laughing, but Chris knows that I am a Commander fan. I don't hide it. If you tuning into my show, you can see that my whole layout is decked up with Commander, Redskin, football team stuff. Now, I cannot cheer for the Cowboys. Jay, I can't do it.
Right.
I can't do it. I can't. I can't. I just can't. I can't cheer for them. But cause I'm neutral. I'm like Switzerland whenever you call the show. I'm neutral.
Right.
But uh, you know, and I leave it to one of my other guests, my homeboy Glid, to kind of, give it to the Cowboys with both barrels. So, but it's gonna be a good game tomorrow. I'm gonna be at my favorite hangout, which is gonna be Buffalo Wild Wing. That's a shameless plug for them, but I will be at Buffalo, along with yeah, all my other rowdy friends. But that's where I will be, and I'll be there taking in the show, watching the can I call it a train wreck? Is it gonna be a train wreck or whatever? We shall,
Oh,
but that's where I'll be. So Jay, appreciate you calling. And hold your nose. Well, you
all
say you
right.
got to do it and cheer for the Buccaneers. But hey, the playoffs are here. Okay,
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Sports therapy, F.A. Jr.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, Chris, the cowboy lover. Chris. Playoffs, baby. Now, Chris, I want to ask you this question because I'm dying to talk to a fire breathing, card carrying cowboy fan. Chris, I was just talking to Jay, and and I explained something to Jay. I said, Jay, I'm a Commander fan, aka Redskin football team. And I said, hey, look, on the show, I'm neutral. I'm like Switzerland, okay, neutral. But I cannot cheer for the Cowboys. Now am I cheering for them to lose? I'm not cheering for them to lose, but I'm not going to be waving pom poms hoping you guys to win. But I just want the game to be interesting. But I'm going somewhere with this, Chris, because all the Cowboy fans that I've spoken with, they have lost faith, my brother. What say ye?
Oh, I think it's gonna be a good game. I think that they've got a lot to
Chris, quit
prove
beating
to
around the
not only
quit
themselves,
beating
but
around the bush. Who's gonna win, baby?
Dallas is gonna win.
Hey, okay.
It's gonna be close. I'm gonna go on record and say Dallas by 3.
Okay, and
I'll
that's
go
what I'm
that
talking
far.
about,
Dallas
man.
by 3.
Man up, Chris. Be a man, man up. Be a fan.
I don't think Tom Brady's gonna get it done against us again, and I think we got a lot to prove. So it's Dallas by 3.
All right, that's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah. Because I was watching the NFL Network today, and all all of the procrastinators and all the good people that think they are experts, they're all picking the Cowboys to lose tomorrow night, brother. Except for Mike Irvin.
Let's see, Michael Irvin's the only one that matters.
Yeah, yeah. Mike is like, But this is what I want to ask you about. They played earlier this year, and it was a defensive game. What are you expecting to see?
About the same. I think it's going to be very defensive heavy, but I do think that Dallas is going to start clicking on offense maybe the second half. It may be kind of slow going in the first half, but I think they're going to get their feet under them, and you're going to see Dak using Gallup a lot, using CD a lot, and always his tight end. But I don't know how much of a run game we're going to be able to establish. So if he can get past not having that, I think he'll be okay, and he'll get that offense going in the second half.
Okay. So there's no concerns about all the interceptions that Dak has been throwing.
I mean, there's always going to be that concern, but he's not shying away from it. I mean, he's owning it and he's working on it. But I think the interceptions, yes, a lot of them are, him being forced into a situation. Some of them are the receivers just, not closing their hands when it touches them. But I don't know. I think if he gets one early, I think he's going to bounce back. And if it's late, I think that's where that'll be the difference maker, and that'll put a fork in him. But early, I think he'll bounce back. So I'm not too worried about it. I think he's got a lot that he wants to prove, and I really think they're going to beat Tom Brady at the time.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, support your team, man. Support your team. Now, I went back and I looked at the first game when you guys met. It was a defensive game. Now, we'll tell you this. Tampa Bay has not really – they haven't improved a lot since the first time you guys played them. They're not this juggernaut that just goes out and score. Hell, they got a losing record.
I mean, it's the first time in any time, I guess, that Tom Brady's really played that he – maybe minus his first season, but he's really never had a record like this. And, then you have Evans going on record this week saying the Cowboys are good, but they're basic. Well, I'm sorry. Nobody's more basic than Tampa Bay is. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
you
are.
just said it.
Yeah, yeah. They're not doing. They don't just now. They had a good defense, but what I have noticed that some of the guys on defense have been injured, but they're starting to get some people back, and so I'm thinking it's going to be a defensive game, but I still think the game plan for Tampa Bay is going to be to isolate the cornerback, not Diggs, but the other young man, because you guys are playing with a cornerback by committee, and I think that's what they're gonna do. But I will tell you this: what I've noticed, I've watched from watching the 49ers, Seahawks, Jags, Chargers, Bills, Dolphins, and Giants, Vikings. What I'm seeing is that the referees are consistent, and this is what I know about playoffs. Man, they don't make calls against the DBs, man. Not like they do in the regular season.
Well, yeah, with the DBs, I agree. And for the most part, minus that Minnesota Giants game that just ended a little bit ago, they've been letting them play. Now, I really saw one call, and I didn't really agree with it. So, it's just for the most part, yeah, I'll give it to you. They're letting them really play. They're letting them kind of jab at each other a little bit longer, which is good because it's playoff football. Everybody's coming to play. They're hitting harder. They're
Yes.
throwing harder. Everything they're doing is just as intensified as it can be. So I'm glad to see that for the most part they are letting them play.
Mm-hmm. But my only concern is CD Lamb is not a big receiver. So now when you starting to let guys kind of, play handsy with him, grab him a little bit, whereas the regular season, you don't get to turn the receivers. You turn the receiver, they're gonna automatically make that call. But I'm noticing that they're letting that particular play get away, and they're letting a lot more hand fighting guys are doing, and they're actually getting up and playing more bump and run and getting away with just grabbing the receivers, making that fight to get off the line more of a struggle. And so that's what I'm thinking maybe an issue, because those are when I go back and look at the Tampa Bay games in the past, that has always been a big major concern when it came to Tom Brady. He's always had got the calls during the regular season, but once they get to the playoffs, all of a sudden they're grabbing his receivers and they're knocking them off those patterns. And because Tom, he's more of a time based offense. When he expects you to be there when you come off that cut because the ball's going to be there. So I'm seeing a lot of that, brother.
Yeah, that's where I'm grateful for Gallup. I think Gallup's going to have a big game, and I'm real grateful for T.Y. Hilton at this point because he's used to this kind of,
right.
They've got those shots in. But I mean, I think we're going to see. I think Micah Parsons is going to have a huge game. He and then Leighton Vander Esch. I think he's coming.
He's back.
Read that correctly. I think he will be back. So having both of them on the field together, I think it's really going to help knock that rhythm off for those rhythers. I know they're going to want to blitz Brady all day long, and it's going to be tough with that offensive line, but I think it'll be enough to throw that rhythm off for Brady.
Mm-hmm. I think a key return for you guys, to me, is the fact that you're getting your center back. Biotish.
Yes.
I can tell
that's going to help that offensive timing.
Yes, yeah. I can tell he was missed. He was really missed.
Yeah.
So I think that'll give you guys a little bit more. Go ahead.
That count, that rhythm, that all that drives an offense is thrown off when you have to shift just one side to the left or one side to the right, because you're having to learn different gaps, you're having to learn different timings. And so I think having him back and putting everybody back in place is going to be a strong weapon for us going into Tampa tomorrow night.
All right. Now, Chris, let's transition to this is the question I said that I was going to ask every one of my caller that call in, because we're talking playoffs, so we're talking about 49ers, Seahawks, Jags, Chargers, Bills, Dolphins, Giants, Vikings. So, Chris, I want to ask you one question. I'm gonna hit my own cousin Bill. How the fuck you how you lose a game when you're up 27-0, man?
Playoff football. Second half's a whole different game, and that's in all reality, that's what it's kind of been these last two nights. Is the second half has been a whole new game, and I mean, I thought for sure the Chargers had it. Nope, second half, whole new team. Trevor Lawrence comes out like a whole new quarterback, like he just rested a whole week. I mean, it's playoff football. Second half's a whole new game.
At any time, did you expect the coach to pull Trevor Lawrence? Like, dude, you threw 4 freaking interceptions before halftime.
Why though? Why would he pull him? I mean, everything that is going on in Jacksonville, it's looking up for him.
True.
He's got this playoff experience underneath his belt. He's got an awful first half, but a stellar second half, so he can balance both halves of the football. Just go moving forward. I mean, I think it's all gravy for them right now. That win just solidified it for me.
I think at the beginning the game was too fast for him. He had to settle down because all of a sudden he was like staring down receivers, and the minute he would stare his receivers down, those DBs be right there. Hell, he damn near put what's the kid Samuels? He almost put him in the Hall of Fame. That kid picked him off 3 times. I was like, man. Now, I guarantee you, if he had any kind of bonuses in his contract, it's a hell of a day for Samuels. You know, you
not lying.
you get $10 million if you get, because they will backlog your contract with all kind of impossible incentives for you. But I'm sure they say, hey, if you get 3 interceptions in one game, it's an extra $10 million. You don't think that's going to ever happen?
Like it.
I was like, what the hell, man? Who? And the Vikings proved what everybody was saying about them all along, that they were paper champions, brother.
Yes, I'm gonna say this though, and this coming from a Cowboy fan. New York had a plan, and Jones stepped up and carried that offense. I mean, he was lethal with his downfield vision, with his throws, and then you had Slayton out there just tearing them up. I mean, they fired on all cylinders tonight, and it was actually fun to watch. And that's coming from a Cowboy fan.
I know. Now, there was this one play that I thought, man, Slayton's going to have to wear some goat ears, because they had a chance to put that game away, and Daniel Jones hit him coming right across the middle. And the Vikes had no more timeouts. All he had, if he picks up the first down, game's over. Ball hits him right in the hands on the 45-yard line, and he dropped it. Third down, he dropped it. Dropped it, man.
I almost want to say that he wasn't the X receiver for that. Like, it almost hit him out of nowhere. But they were doing the Vikings were doing really well blocking that downfield off from them. So he was the choice, and Jones was the only one that saw that. But I really don't think he thought that ball was coming to him. I think he thought they were going to try and put it away right there.
Man, he dropped that ball. I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me. And another key play. This was, with about 2 minutes left in the third quarter, the Vikes were on, I think they were on like this 5-yard line. It was 4th and 1 and less than 1. And they were going to go for it. 4th and, I wouldn't even call it a foot. They decided they were going to go for this ball. And number 71, that's how much I can tell you his number. Number 71.
Flinched.
Yes. And they picked up the first down, but false start, baby. They end up having to settle for a field goal.
I mean, that's playoff football for you.
Playoff.
It goes back to the fact that that's the meltdown that's been occurring though in Minnesota. Like everybody really, I mean, if you really look at anything, everybody knew New York was going to win that game. And I mean,
Even
I would have liked to have said it was
the experts did say, hey, that the Giants were going to take it.
Yep. I mean, the Giants are different in the postseason. Like, they're not who they are in the regular season. They prove that every time they get into the postseason. I think it's going to be a great game next week watching them play Philadelphia. That's going to be a heck of a game to watch because they're lethal in the playoffs.
And I think Philly's quarterback is a little bit more injured than they're letting the public know. Because when you feature your quarterback as a runner like they do, man, I'm sorry, but the shoulders, the shoulders start to hurt, man. You know? And a bigger part of Jalen's game is the fact that he's a runner and a passer. But he's not that great of a passer, but what allows him to become a decent passer is the threat of the run. But when you don't have that, it's like, okay.
No, I think the first. You got to give him the first couple because they've had the week off, and he's going to be a little rusty. But I think the longer that game goes on, I think you will see that shoulder injury.
Yes.
And he's going to do a lot more of the check down passes, and that's going to make New York's defense even that much more deadly because you're right, they're not going to have to guard that downfield threat as much with him. They can just play against the run really on him.
Oh, yeah, I agree. So now, did you get a chance to watch 49ers Seahawks?
That was such a fun game.
It was, wasn't it?
I mean, Brock Purdy. I got to give it up to Brock Purdy. I mean, the cards were stacked against this kid ever see the football field in the NFL.
Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes. And now they're like probably the most lethal team in the playoffs right now because I don't care who goes into San Francisco. Even if it's Dallas next weekend, it's going to be a tough one because they're looking lethal right now with a rookie quarterback. And then you got Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey that just kind of balance out what's already going on there. It was a fun game to watch.
Well, first they were just letting him drive the bus. Now they're starting to let him. They're opening up the playbook and allowing him to do a lot more things. And he's starting to show he has a lot in his arsenal, man. And I guess it's because they are rival. The Seahawks were giving them all they want and then some. Geno was looking pretty good. I mean, I was like, okay, Geno, okay, let's give Geno some more money, And then he made that key mistake that you don't make against it. Because, see, to me, the 49ers are like, they're like rabid wolves, As long as you if you're going toe to toe with them, you're good. But if they start to run down here and attack you, and they get into attack mode, it's like, dude, it's nothing you can do because the minute Geno had that turnover, all of a sudden, man, they flipped the switch and it was a total different team, man.
Well, and a lot of it has to do with the coach. Like, the coach is dialing up plays that Purdy's strength. You know what I mean? He's great about that. He's great with doing that regardless of who's leading that team. And I think that's why they're being so successful regardless of who the quarterback is. Because he can design the offense to fit the quarterback, which is great.
Yeah. Oh, I agree, man. I agree. I'm like, man, like you said, man, whoever had to take on those 49ers, bro, they better bring a sack lunch, a stick, a sack lunch, a stick, and a hard hat, man, because they're not a team that's gonna roll over, man. You got to beat them, and you have to beat them. You got to play them all 4 quarters, man. And in fact, when you have a team that you can almost say that at least they are going to possibly score a touchdown on the defensive side, you have to account for that, brother.
Absolutely. You've got to have a game like Jones had today where, the Giants didn't turn the ball over once.
Right.
They were dang near surgical. You've got to play that way against San Francisco.
and before, man, Daniel Jones used to be known as a turnover magnet, man. It's like, okay, all of a sudden he's gonna fumble, throw an interception, do something crazy, But
Absolutely.
wow. So, my brother, are you gonna be dialed in tomorrow night?
Oh man, I have every pom pom, every jersey, every sign I got in the house lit up. I'm gonna be in. It's on. Dallas by 3.
All right, hey Chris, I'm gonna let you go, man. Let me get some more people in here. Hey, appreciate you calling, brother.
You got it.
All right, man. Sports therapy with F.A. Jr.
My brother, we're back at it again, man. We're back at it again. It is your boy, Brandon Cooper from Grand Prairie, Texas, the Ravens extraordinaire.
Brandon.
Oh, God.
I sent you a text message earlier today, Brandon. I told you I am on the bandwagon of the Ravens because I think the Ravens are going to pull it off. So,
this is what's so crazy. We actually might win, but I don't even know how I feel about that.
What is the score right now?
Man, it's 3-0. Bengals are up right now. Looks like we're getting a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow, and we're actually getting him down. We're actually D'ing up pretty nice. I know because Marcus Peters is back out there on the field this week, so that gives us a little bit more man-to-man. Humphrey is good. Humphrey hasn't allowed a touchdown all season.
True.
My thing is, it's not so much defense, right? Our points per game significantly dropped because Lamar isn't there.
I got you.
So, and then I'm not gonna. You and I talked about the whole Roquan Smith thing. I'm not even gonna get on that today.
Okay.
I'm happy. I'm happy he got his money.
A lot of money.
However, and he represented himself. So all that Lamar needed an agent stuff that was kind of thrown out the window, right?
Right.
It's funny how that happens, right?
Because that's the talk in the street. Well, if he had an agent, man, they wouldn't. They would go ahead and deal with him a different way. Nah.
And then Roquan Smith represents himself, and he's the highest paid linebacker of all time. I get why you would give him that money, but I think there's just so much more in priorities, right? Like I feel before you pay your Netflix bill, you should pay your electric bill, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yes. She's damn right.
I just if we're using logic, right? We're all adults here.
Yes.
But I like what the Ravens are doing. We're driving. We're kind of sticking to what we know best. Tyler Huntley kind of has a bum shoulder, but he's doing pretty good. We're just doing what we can handle. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, the problem is the Bengals have so many different looks they can give us. But I think one-on-one we can match up with everybody. It's really going to be a test of who has the more firepower. But I also feel, what have I always told you this whole season? I was like, we just don't have the offensive firepower to match up against the Cincinnati, my homeboy in the Bills.
But I think this is why I'm feeling that you guys are gonna win this game, because I'm thinking that the defense is gonna give you guys anywhere from 7 to 10 points.
They could. Marcus Peters is good for at least one pick six.
Mm-hmm. And the closer that game goes, if it goes in the fourth quarter and it's close, the pressure goes on the Bengals, not the Ravens. Then they'll start, pushing, and then all of a sudden, that mistake is gonna happen. Yes. So, but
through the window at this man.
Huh?
Looking through the window at this bar. My bad. Marcus Peters over here giving up first down.
Oh, hell.
Bad, this is PTSD, man. It's PTSD. My
bad. Hey, man, I know the feeling, brother. I know the feeling. But now here's the thing. If the Ravens win tonight, is Lamar done for the year regardless, or
I think he is, because it's a grade 2, almost a grade 3 PC L strain. He still has swelling in the knee, but the thing is, his knee is still unstable.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think it might be to the point where he might have to have, a cleanup surgery or something like that.
Right.
But what they're saying is his knee is unstable. So I don't think he's playing for the rest of the year. That would actually be crazy if we ended up winning the Super Bowl. He's damn sure not getting paid then. But he's not coming back this year. So, since Lamar doesn't have an agent, I think I should step in. We're starting the price at $275 for 5 years, fully guaranteed. If you would like to take a meeting with us in DC, we would like to sit down and speak with you all on the matter.
Because what's going to happen if the Ravens lose tonight? Then the Ravens higher ups are going to say, "Hey, wait a minute. Hey, this is what life is going to be like without Lamar."
Yeah, but I mean, with Lamar, you have a chance to contend for a Super Bowl. Without him, when you're 8-13, without him, and with him, you're 45-16. That is insane. And also, D-Hop is on the market. I would really like us to go for him, but I know we're probably not. But with Lamar, they're probably going to franchise tag him.
But my question,
he's not going to play under the franchise tag.
My question to
they're going to have to trade him.
My question to you is, how the hell did we get in this situation, man?
That's what I'm saying. Why? I'm not gonna lie. If this was gonna be it, after he won that MVP, they should have just gave him. Okay, he won the MVP. Then that next year, he won one playoff game. Right? We beat the Titans. They should have just gave him whatever he wanted after that. Because since we're here, and since the Deshaun Watson contract is the standard now,
right?
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it wasn't the standard before,
right?
Because why do we keep chalking it up as, oh, well, that's just the Bills, they did. That's just the Browns, they did it. No. Now we all know the Cleveland Browns have done very heinous things to that organization,
right?
We're not just gonna throw 5 for 230 fully guaranteed under the rug and be like, oh well, that's the Cleveland Browns. That doesn't apply to the other 31 teams.
That's the market. That's the market, man. The market is what it is.
Because Joe Burrow and Herbert and Danny Jones and possibly Trevor Lawrence, if the Jags are smart, are all gonna get the bag this summer. You know that.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow finna get that stupid bag.
And all the Ravens got to do is take a look at the Commanders. We were the same way with Kirk Cousins. Now, granted, Kirk broke my heart so many times, but when you are stable at quarterback, people don't realize, you got a lot of guys coming out this year, but just because you projected to be a number one or high, that doesn't mean that's going to pan out, man. Sometimes you got to dance with who you bought. And so just take a look at our situation. We had Kirk. We franchise tagged and paid him a lot of damn money. Then we franchise tagged him again and paid him. I'm like, come on. And everybody kept, well, you know what? He may not be the guy that we're thinking. We're going to let him play one more year. See if he's the guy we think he is. I'm like, seriously? What is our biggest problem? We don't have a quarterback.
But here's the thing. I feel like your team and our team are similar to, if we don't figure out this quarterback situation, like, my bad, I'm at a bar outside here.
Yeah, man, I'm good, man.
This is my nice bar.
Yeah.
Hey, you're going to have to pull up here one day. But but here's the thing. The problem with y'all is everything is solid. Y'all just can't find a quarterback. Now, y'all did find a quarterback in Sam Howell, but y'all will mess that up.
I guarantee they're gonna screw it up.
If we let Lamar, he's a generational talent.
Yep.
Do you understand if he goes somewhere
like across the street to us or to the Jets?
Like, dude. I'm sorry. If he goes to the Washington Commanders, I might stop watching football, and then I would never hear the end of it. I I would stop watching football and I'd be like,
Hey, man, can you imagine how dangerous we would be with that defense, those weapons that we have in Lamar Jackson?
I actually would.
Man.
If that's the case, if I was y'all, I would probably give up my first round draft
Oh,
pick
yeah.
for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all gotta just go out.
Yes.
That automatically makes y'all potentially that might boost y'all to win in the NFC, to be honest.
We would, because he would have the weapons that you all won't provide for him.
Man, the crazy weapons. Here's the thing. I would be good if we just took Samuel from y'all. Like, I'll take that. You know what I mean? I'll eat that.
It's like,
but it's just crazy, man. But like I said, I mean, today is gonna. If we lose today, then that's how it's gonna be. And I'm pretty sure Lamar's not gonna come back off that franchise tag, and so Lamar's gonna get traded, man.
And let's be honest, if you franchise tag him, you're not gonna get 100% of him. You may get 75%.
If I'm Lamar, I'm gonna be like, man, I ain't practicing today, man.
Yeah.
My hamstring hurt.
Well, you gonna get the type of guy that when it's 3rd down and 2, he can run and pick up the first down. Nah, I ain't doing that. Nah, I ain't doing that.
Ain't nobody open the eyes, so I'm just throw it away. Cause we seen what happened to Dak on that franchise year. You see?
Yep.
Hey, he almost was never the same.
Yeah.
Well, arguably, he hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
But
I know.
Ugly, man. But looking at the other games I saw, let's go to yesterday. Shout out to Dougie P, man. I just want to say shout out to Dougie P for getting that win. Chargers, they blew it.
Man, let me say this to you, like I told every one of my other callers, man. How the hell you lose a game and you're up 27-0, brother? And the man just threw 4 interceptions.
But first of all, that's coaching. But then that's why I believe Trevor Lawrence should get a max deal right now. Because if I sit here and watch a quarterback throw 4 interceptions, keep his head high, and come back and win that game, I can drive to that facility every day knowing I got a damn good baller.
Yeah.
That's a baller right there. And I think Doug Peterson is a perfect coach for him. The Chargers, they blew it, but I'm pretty sure they're going to give Herbert the max. If I look at the other game yesterday, oh God,
but Gino was looking good until that turnover, dog.
So Gino, I'm like, okay, Gino, turnover. Here we go.
Did they?
Up McCaffrey, up Deebo Samuel, up. Here we go.
They waved that red meat in front of them Lions, and all of a sudden, woohoo, man!
They just didn't. I mean, so right now they just have too much firepower. I would hate to be in that quarterback room next year. I mean, okay, we got Trey Lance. We got Jimmy G and we got Brock Purdy. Okay. We got a guy who we don't know can play. We got a midline guy that's always going to be serviceable. And we got a guy who we pretty much are paying pennies because he was Mr. Irrelevant. And we could spend money somewhere else.
I think
it's a very interesting quarterback.
I think Jimmy G is going to be gone anyway. Trey Lance is not going to be happy being back up behind Brock. So I think you can use him to get some, get some for him, and just get you a serviceable backup. But hey, man, let some more people get in here, brother. Hey, give a spiel for what you do, man. I'm gonna let you get back to the game.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, my man. Also, 2 things from the last 2 games. Number 1, Kirk Cousins is trash. And number 2, if Tua was playing, the Dolphins would have won.
I agree.
So, yeah, man. It's your boy, Brandon Cooper, man, from Grand Prairie, Texas. Ravens extraordinaire. I don't even have on my Lamar Jackson jersey on today. That's how you know I'm down bad. But I just want everybody to enjoy your 3-day weekend. My boys and I, we have our own podcast called the D1 Ignorant University Podcast. We're on a Spotify playlist. We're on Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Anchor app. We're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, D1IGNANT University. Come check us out, man. Go Baltimore Ravens. Y'all pray for me this offseason.
All right, brother.
All right, man. I'll meet you up after the game, man.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr.
What's going on with you, my brother?
It's my homeboy Glenn. What's up, Doc?
What's going on with your brother?
I can't call it,
I
man.
was listening to you. I was listening to you and the guy were talking a while ago.
Brandon.
Talking about the Ravens. Yeah, I think Lamar Jackson might be over it for him.
Yeah.
I can see him. Yeah, I can see him going somewhere like the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like I was telling Brandon, they can franchise tag it, but you're not gonna get him playing. You're not gonna get him playing at the best he can play at. And I said, all they gotta do is kind of look at our situation. Even though Kirk wasn't, to me, he wasn't the greatest of quarterbacks, but at some point, when you got stability at the quarterback position, you don't fool with that, man. You just like, you know what? Yeah, the market is what it is. You pay him, you keep it rolling, man. You don't keep dangling your quarterback out there, man, playing reindeer games with your quarterback, man, like what they're doing. It's like, what else can Lamar Jackson show you? He's been there, you've seen the best of him.
They won't miss a good thing until it's gone.
You know he put butts in seats, so what's the deal?
Yeah, they don't miss a good thing until it's gone because if they lose Lamar Jackson, that's really their franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Because with the offense they run and the system where they got it set up, ain't nobody going to really want to come there and play there because you ain't going to get nothing out your offense.
Nope. Now, Glenn, let me ask you this one question, man. This is what I've asked all my callers, man. How in the hell you lose a football game and you're up 27-0, man?
And through 4 first half turnovers.
Yes.
4 first half that's bad coaching, man. They remind me of wrestling, man. They get on top of a man and beat him down, and then the first thing they want to do is jump on the damn rope and jump off there every time and get messed up. Every time. Why? Man, I went to bed on the game last night thinking it was over with. I wake up this morning, I thought the score was wrong.
Hey, man, like I was telling one of my callers, I said, man, I dozed off at halftime thinking, okay, this is a sleeper here, man. It's game over. And I wake up, man, I'm about the fourth quarter, man. I would be honest. I was in and out of consciousness, man. I woke up, man. I saw him interviewing Trevor Lawrence. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. But man, Baltimore, the Chargers that was bad coaching there, man. But
terrible coaching.
They're gonna talk about it on First Take and all of them tomorrow because how in the hell you let a team, like you say, so I have 4 first half turnovers and down 27-0, and then let them come back like that.
Man.
But the guy you were talking to earlier on the radio, I do agree with him. Trevor Lawrence, he's gonna be dangerous, man.
Oh yes.
He's gonna be a problem in the league too. Yeah, he's gonna be a problem.
Yes.
So that dude there, he's gonna be a problem, man. That AFC is loaded with quarterbacks, man.
It is. And
people forget about Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Just think when he get his stuff together.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be tough.
And as I was saying,
over the AFC.
As I was telling one of my callers, I said what happened with the Jaguars game is the playoffs, and the game was just a little bit too fast for Trevor Lawrence at the beginning. That's why he threw the 4 interceptions. But once the game kind of slowed down, and he realized, okay, I ain't got to stare down my receivers. I can, man. Like I said, brother, I had to go back and watch the third and fourth quarters over again so I could get an idea of what happened. I like, okay, I see. I was like, man, you're right. It was coaching. That was coaching.
It's bad coaching, man.
You got to be able to coach that. You got to coach that victory on there.
Yeah, that defense coordinator ought to be fired on the spot.
Yeah.
They need to fire him on the spot because, man, ain't no way, because it ain't like the Chargers got a pretty decent defense.
Yes.
You got all pro. You got Khalil Mack and Derwin James and Bosa. 2 more guys back there. That's inexcusable there. And
you can't fire your offensive coordinator because he's like, hey, dude, I put up 27 points, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, man. It wasn't offense. It was bad defense there, man.
Oh.
But I tell you, man, I'm looking at this Baltimore Cincinnati game.
What's the score of that game?
The guy it's 9-0 Cincinnati. If guys from Baltimore had not threw that interception, they'll be in the game.
And what his name? Peterson made a bonehead play.
He always
Well, so I knew he was gonna make a bonehead play. Yeah, I knew he was gonna be involved in something. But I want Baltimore to kind of win this game, but I don't see it happening.
So now tell me, what do you think
Yeah,
about them 49ers from yesterday?
Man, they gonna be they the only team I see give my boy problems, Eagles problems.
Yeah.
They gonna get the Eagles problem, man.
Yeah, they can get
They solid. That defense is solid. They kind of remind me of the Ravens defense.
Yes.
You know, they gonna be solid, man. And I was looking at a report earlier on. I was looking earlier. They talking about Darren Payne, the defensive tackle from the Commanders.
Hey, that ain't happening, brother. We're gonna bag up a couple of money trucks and let him just park one of the money trucks by his house, man.
Hey, he said he want at least 19 or 20 million a year.
We can make that happen. We get some of that Carson Wentz money.
Yeah, they say Chicago got the money to give it to him. But if you hook him up on one side with Myles Garrett on that other side, it's going to be a problem over there in that AFC.
My boy ain't going nowhere, man. No, sir.
No, sir. I hope he don't go. Sir. If he do go anywhere, I want him to come to Pittsburgh.
So now let me ask you this, man. First of all, I want you to open up a big old can of haterade because I know you got some on you. Open a big old can of haterade. So I'm going to ask you about tomorrow's night's game. Cowboys, Buccaneers. What say you, Glenn?
Go get the ass cold cat regular. All you damn Cowboy fans should have bought some lottery tickets last night. Why with 1 point, got how many billions? You got a better chance hitting the damn lottery than the Cowboys advancing in the next round next week. You can guarantee that. I hate to bust y'all bubble, but it's going down, baby. You already know they're going to get their ass whooped, man. Why you ask me that, man?
Hey, you know what?
I think you be wanting to give me the curse and shit in the first damn place, don't you, man? You know they gonna get their ass whooped. You know they gonna get their ass whooped, but you wanna call me and do some shit like that there, man.
Hey, man. I was telling Chris, my Cowboy fan. I said, Chris, all of the people I've talked to, all the Cowboy fans that I've talked to, they all expect them to lose. I said, man, what kind of fan base?
They already know. They already know it's an accident waiting to happen, man. They know they're going to get that. They got them. Hey, they all see their schedule tell off on their schedule as weak as Arkansas. they played the weakest schedule in the national football. Hell, their schedule was weak as Arkansas. Then you played Detroit when they 1-6, or then you play the Bears. Who else you played? The Colts. Name all. You ain't played nobody.
I was surprised that they had the schedule that they had because they were division champion. Normally, when you're division champion, you get like a first place schedule. You play all these division champs, second runner ups, or whatever. I was surprised that the Cowboys had the schedule that they had, but like I said, man. Yeah.
When the hell the last time you ever know a strong safety win a Super Bowl leads you to the Super Bowl? Dak Prescott is a strong safety. He ain't no damn quarterback. He more like a strong safety. Whatever you know, the strong safety leads you to a Super Bowl. Name me one. The closest one is Palomar. The closest one is Troy Palomar. Dak Prescott know he ain't gonna win the ball. He wasn't up there the game over, so he can go on vacation.
I tell you what, though, boy, if they don't win them all, man, all hell is gonna break loose, Glenn. All hell gonna break loose. But hey, man, I gotta wrap it and cap it, man. So hey,
one more quick, tell them damn Cowboy fans to get ready to put their crocodile tears on, so they gonna cry like hell tomorrow night. You have a blessed day, my boy.
All right, man, you finna hear the sound of my music. This has been another episode of Sports Therapy with F.A. Jr. But before I run, I want to also acknowledge my sponsor, Crown Royal. That is my drink. Patiently blended since 1932. Expertly blended for a king. Crown Royal. Damn, because whenever I'm out crime fighting, I always reach for a bottle of Crown Royal and I say, crown me, baby. Now, I would also like to thank my guest, H-Town Bridget. Wow. Cowboy Lover. I also like to thank my homeboy Glenn. Also, my man from D1 Eagleton University and Jay. And I want to thank the country Kennys down in Arkansas, Louisiana, and those across the boot, and all those who listen to Sports Therapy with F.H. Jr. in the Dallas Metroplex and all over the place. This has been F.H. Jr. for Sports Therapy, and for all those on the yard, you guys know how I say it. Stay golden, baby.